Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video of 2023. I hope you had a beautiful celebration, that you've started this year like a champion. My friends, I have some beautiful wishes for you. Firstly, happy new beginning. May you be reborn today. May you have a precise goal or many goals for tomorrow. May you be inspired to dream. May you feel motivated to start that new project. May you feel loved. May you know your worth. May you be wealthy with no limits. May you always hear the guidance of your heart. May you be braver than yesterday. May you be stronger than doubts. May you be happy and grateful that you didn't give up. It's a new chapter, my friends, and you deserve it all. So today I want to give you 7 tips to make the best possible life. How to stop chasing things, but rather attract them. Whatever you want, how to become a magnet for it. So let's begin. So the thing is, my friends, that when we see things clearly, we can choose well and therefore act right. And it means that we all have a choice. We all have a choice. What will we do with what we have? And if we take care of our core values, if we take care of what we truly want on that heart level, and if we recognize what we are seeking the most, we'll know in what kind of direction we kind of feel navigated to. So I want to remind you firstly to take care of your core values. And we all know what are core values, right? What are we valuing the most? And this is something we need to take some time for deep introspection, to recognize the core values. What will be the core values for this year and for your life and for your evolution? What are you valuing the most? To me, the strongest value is inner peace and love. That's the strongest value for me. That's why I always say to you, one love. I want to be reminded, because sometimes I forget those things. Sometimes I forget that the greatest gift I can give to myself is love. I need to love myself. And to love yourself means that you keep discipline at the times when you want to give up. Self-love means that you take care of yourself when you're forgetting of taking care of yourself. Self-love means that you take care of your sleeping patterns so you can feel better, you can have more energy, and your mind can be clear. Self-love means that you take care of your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. And later we'll talk more about this. And that's, to me, love. But then love on a deeper level is connection with all, right? When you go into the nature and you don't take your mind with you, you know, all that monkey mind, the problems, you go into the nature and you connect with it. That's love. When you sense the nature, you sense the energy of a tree, you sense the energy of a flower, of a water, or whatever. So that's love for me. And love is then connection with people, right? Not judging others, but accepting them as they are, seeing the beauty within them, and seeing the possibility within each individual. Everybody is a beacon of light, right? And we need to see life that way. And that's love. Love is seeing the sun on the other side of the clouds. Doesn't matter how cloudy the weather is, you know that the sun is out there. And same is with your goals and with your future. Doesn't matter how many challenges and roadblocks you can find in your life, you know that on the other side of that, that's the success, the manifestation of what you're dreaming about. And that's love, that understanding, that you have trust over doubts, that you believe in your strength, in your inner courage, that you know that you can do it. That's love, my friends. So take care of that. The first thing I want to give you here for this video is a reminder: never take advice from people who are not where you want to be. Because those people will say to you, or will give you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, right? And we all know that, but we are still listening. Sometimes people who are not where you want to be giving you advices what you should or shouldn't do. Rather learn from those who are already where you want to be, to see what kind of changes could you adopt in your life. Like sometimes we need to shift our habits a little bit, right? Sometimes we need to shift our mindset a little bit. Sometimes we need to take a greater care of ourselves. Sometimes we need to learn some social skills. And usually we need to just become more honest and more compassionate and more authentic. Authenticity comes from understanding of what makes us different from others, right? What makes us unique. And when you recognize that, you find the tools to make what you want possible. So rather than listening advices from people who are not where you want to be, study people who are already there. It will make a huge change in your life. And if you will start today, the whole year is in front of you for possible changes that you want to experience. That's something truly powerful that in the past it changed my life. Because when I've started painting, you know how many people came to me to say that it's not possible to make a living out of doing art, especially if nobody knows you. And I never believed that. Something within me told me that I just need to follow my gut feeling, you know, my instinct, my intuition. I need to follow that. And it inspired me to take a piece of a paper, or it was a block, and I've started writing down what kind of life I want to live. And I went truly in details, like how much money I want to make, how I want to spend my days, what kind of people I want to meet, what are my future habits, what are my future emotional experiences, like in what kind of emotions I want to live most of my days, how I want to touch people, how I want to express myself, what are the material things and possessions that I have, in what kind of house I live, what kind of relationships I have. I went in details. So everything I wrote down was like what I want to get in return for my efforts. And when we truly take time with it, we recognize that we've been so unclear before. Most people don't know what they want because they don't take time to dive deeper into themselves. So I want to encourage you, forget about New Year resolutions or whatever, but dive deeper into yourself and see what you're truly seeking in your life, what you truly want. Not what your environment has influenced you that you need, but what you truly want. And remember that when you are truly precise, the whole universe conspires to make things happen for you. And that's real. The second thing, not having goals and vision will take you to similar cycles you just been through. So when we don't have goals and a vision for the future, for a version that we want to become, for things we want to have, for how we want to influence life around us, we'll get into the same cycles we've been before. And that's why people say nothing works. Whatever I try, nothing works. But the truth is that whatever we try, it may not come from our hearts, or we are not staying consistent enough. And it's okay. It's okay to fall back into the old cycles. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't blame nobody else but your actions for being where you are. But even if you are repeating same cycles, accept it. It's part of evolution. It's not that you're a bad person because you're not succeeding in whatever. Success is nothing but illusion. It's about your peace of mind. It's about how well you feel about yourself. How well can you accept yourself? It's all about that. When you can learn to accept and let go, you will be free. And when you are free, you are success. That's all. When you are free, you have no limitations. When you have no limitations, you have no blocks. When you have no blocks, inspiration is moving through you. When inspiration is moving through you, you feel alive. And when you feel alive, you want to do something that will be good for all. And when you do something that is good for all, you will be rewarded for that. So remember to have a goal. Even being in inner peace is a great goal. It's a great vision. So ask yourself, who would you be if that inner peace would be your natural state? If that would be a state in which you're living most of your day? And see what can you do about it. When you focus on something, you start creating more of it, right? So make a list of goals and put them somewhere where you can see them. Especially in the morning when you wake up and before you go to sleep. If you don't know how it works, Think and Grow Rich would be a great book to start this year. If you haven't read it yet, Napoleon Hill has some great wisdom for you. So, my friends, make sure that you have great goals and vision for the future. And don't focus just on material. Focus on the version of yourself you want to become. And that's what brings us to the third reminder I want to give you today. For getting ready for this new beginning is to focus on the identity you are designing. Because you are a product of your identity, and identity is quite complex, right? We've been growing up. We went through that aging process. Since we've been born, at the beginning we've been completely pure. But as little kids, we've been observing our environment, recording and copying everything that's happening around us. And that developed our identity. The other part to it is how we've been influenced by the planets, right? The zodiac signs, sun and moon. That's where the character is developed. So when we recognize the complexity of our identity, it's much easier to figure out what makes us unique and what's the product of our environment. When you go deeper into your star system, your zodiac nature, you will recognize that there are some unique parts to you. That's why it's important to know yourself better, to study yourself, to recognize who you truly are. And everything when it comes to this reality is so unique and divine. So the time of your birth, the day of your birth, everything has a purpose. And when you study yourself, you will understand yourself better. And that's how you will be able to find the difference between the influence of the planets and your unique energy and what was influenced by your environment. To recognize your real identity, who you really are. And from that real identity, you will be able to design the self you want to be. So what it means? It means that you start questioning yourself. What would that character of your future dream do right at this moment? When you have a vision of yourself, like what would be the greatest possible expression of yourself? How would that character look like? How would that character be doing things, be thinking about different situations, especially uncomfortable situations? Because we have so many coping mechanisms, because we haven't developed the right skills that could help us comprehend something that is sometimes uncomfortable, that would help us to stay in an inner peace and harmony when we are dealing with something uncomfortable. That's why it's important to expose ourselves to certain uncomfortable situations often, so we can develop awareness in the states. For example, when you go under the cold shower or you go into a cold water, you're exposed to a strong irritation. And that strong irritation reminds you that you're hurting yourself. It's same as when somebody say to you that you are stupid or that you are dumb or something like that. You feel irritated. And because we don't have awareness in that state of how to stay calm, how to stay present, how to stay whatever we need at that time, we get upset, we get angry, we get frustrated, right? So what is that future identity you're designing right now? And focus on that. Focus on that. Every single day, focus on the identity you're designing. It will help you to let go of the problems you're dealing with. It will help you to let go of the faults that you may think that you have. Sometimes we think we are a bad person, like we are bad people. Sometimes I think that I'm not worthy of what I want to experience. And then I get back to myself and I recognize I was just distracted. So that's what brings us to the fourth reminder I want to give you. Distraction is a killer of wanting manifestation. And when we have more distractions, we have more killers of wanting manifestations. Because distractions are manipulating your focus, your attention, and your attention is your invested energy. So take care of inner and outer distractions you're dealing with. So what are inner and outer distractions? Inner distractions are those when we have internal signals like check up your phone, what's going on, what's happening on the news, what's happening on the other side of the world. You know, when we have this habitual thoughts, like a strong need that we need to do something that we know that will just distract us, something that's not coming out of that purpose, mission, or whatever we are working on. And sometimes we have this emotional distractions, like we feel bad and we want to grab something to eat or something like that, right? Those are inner distractions. When you're in harmony with yourself, you're not distracted by that. Thoughts may arise, but you can just observe them, right? Something negative may arise, but you can just observe it. And we can teach ourselves doing that through meditation, through observing ourselves, the system of the mind, the system of emotions, what's going on within ourselves. When you sit down in quietness, not doing anything, slowly you will learn to observe yourself. Also, yoga can help you with that, because when you're stretching your body, you're being present in your body. You can observe the pain as you are getting in certain poses, but at the same time, you're letting go of the pain. You're letting go of that tension inside of your muscles. And eventually, you become more flexible. And when you become more flexible in your body, you also become more flexible in your mind. That's why people who are doing yoga on regular basis are more present, are more kind, more positive, and more flexible. So take care of that. And then we have external distractions. Whatever is around you, advertisement, phone, social media, whatever we have. If you truly focus on doing something that's important to you, you need to take care of your distractions. Because if you're not taking care of it, eventually, whatever is distracting you will become stronger than your goals, your vision, whatever you want to invest your energy into. So remind yourself, every time you're being distracted, you stop investing your energy into what's important to you, and you rather invest it into something that your environment wants to represent as more important than your wanting manifestations. So what is more important to you, my friends? The life of fulfillment, or whatever comes across your awareness as something interesting? You need to decide that and pay more attention to it. Then the fifth reminder: raise your frequency with taking care of the holy trinity of mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. That's something I mentioned at the beginning, and often we're talking about this. So make sure that this year you will be raising your frequency with taking care of your mental state. So when it comes to mental state, the mindset, the subconscious mind, all the programs, how can we take care of it? Well, just for example, studying some new books can help you to install new knowledge into your mind, right? Journaling will help you to let go and to recognize what is bothering you on a deeper level and more precise level, so you can completely let go of what's not serving you. I call it an interview with the self. It's like I'm setting questions to myself and I'm answering them, as long as I recognize that those questions are finally coming from my soul, from the truth, to see what's truly going on in my life. So we need to be honest with ourselves to do that work. That's how to take care of your mental health. Also, honest conversations with people. If you feel I need to find a coach or a therapist, it will help you with that. But because our system is made out of three most important aspects, then we have also a physical health, right? To take care of the nutrition, drinking enough water, staying active, working out, stretching your body, spending time in nature. Those are a few things that can help you to take care of your physical health. And most people are ignoring that because it's not mainstream. It's not mainstream, and most people are not doing that. That's why most people are constantly being sick. Most people are having weak immune system and low moods of energy and so on. So take care of that, and life will take care of you. Your physical body is life. It's part of this material nature. When you take care of your physical body, the nature will take care of you, and you will experience it with a higher sense of energy. And that's truly powerful. Then we have the spiritual health, which is also deeply connected with our emotional health and emotional intelligence. So, spiritual health can be practiced through meditation, through inner work, through forgiveness. When something is bothering you, firstly, learn to forgive, because forgiveness will free you. But then find also a practice that can help you to work on your spiritual health. Sometimes you can find a meditation for self-healing, like, for example, what Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing. Or a long time ago, I came across the work of Jose Silva. You can find it all over the internet. Truly powerful practices that can help you to initiate the path of healing your spirit, your soul. Because spirit is connecting that great complexity so you can function well, so you can express yourself, so you can experience your authenticity. And when there are certain missing links, it will be much harder for you to stay present and grounded and honest and authentic. That's why spiritual health is so important. Then shadow work. What is shadow work? Going deeper into your emotional wounds and traumas from the past, and find what could you let go of, what could you forgive, what could you find as greater truth in that memory, because sometimes we have false stories because our brain try to make a meaning out of what we feel. And when we're lacking knowledge of what truly happened, the meaning or the story of the past may be false. And often people live with that false story as the truth. And that's why many people feel so limited in their lives. So gaining greater understanding over what happened in your past will also free a lot of the stored energy in your body. And shadow work is really powerful when it comes to that. Then the sixth reminder is that it's time to build new habits. If you're not changing your habits, you will be repeating again the old cycles. And when it comes to changing the new habits, whatever we've been talking until now, if we start working on it, if we create a certain structure, like a plan that we'll have in front of us, we'll know where to start. And it means when you have a plan, it means sometimes it will be easier, sometimes it will be harder, but it's okay. When you start small and you recognize that it is a sense of responsibility, you will notice that you actually want to do those things. You want to feel responsible for your life. You want to feel responsible for your health. You want to feel responsible to be the greatest version of yourself you can be for people around you. You want to feel responsible for your future self, because your future self is a product of what are you doing right now. Make sure that you know that what you're doing is for your greater good. When you track the progress you're making, you will recognize that actually you are making small changes, and small changes are creating bigger changes, and bigger changes are creating bigger changes, and so on. And that's how we build new habits. New habits are designed by consistency, consistent repetition of something we've designed, of a plan we've made for ourselves. Like when I say to myself that I will start this YouTube channel, I say to myself, I need to stay consistent. Because I've learned in my life through sports, through everything I've been through, I've learned that I can only progress if I stay really consistent. So when I'm working out every day. When I'm stretching my body, I'm stretching my body every day. When I go into nature, I know that I need to go into nature every single day. So I'm also doing daily videos. If possible, I'm painting every single day, or at least I'm taking care of my creative expression every single day, at least once. And when I say that I need to recharge myself, I will decide for how much and what I want to do to recharge myself. And that's consistency. And consistency taught me that everything is possible if we stay true to ourselves. So that's how we will build new habits. And if you know that, if you do that, your life will completely change and you will upgrade yourself. And the last reminder I want to give you here, the seventh one, is that you will make much more money if you have a financial vision for the returns of your efforts. And that's something that changed my life completely, because back in 2018, as I said before, I wrote down precisely how I want my life to be. I also wrote down a financial goal, like what I want to give in return for my service, for sharing my experiences, for producing the art, for being a messenger, what I want to give, what I want to get in return for my efforts. And I wrote down precisely like how much money I want to make in a month, what day in a month I want to receive it, or at least I want to have it, and so on. And for a long time nothing happened, but I was looking at that list every single day. In the morning when I woke up, I read that list every single day. And then at some point I forgot about it, but then when I've started seeing my first manifestations, I became really happy and grateful. And suddenly, a few months later, I've started to notice that I've started making exactly the same amount of money. It doesn't matter how the month went, doesn't matter how many paintings I've sold, doesn't matter what happened in my life. I always made that similar amount of money as I wrote down. So it became really interesting to me, like how much we can truly influence our manifestation. So I became even more precise. I've started writing even more precise things, and everything started happening. At the beginning it took me a long time, but now if I wrote down something, it happens really fast, because more we see the results. Like I said before, if you track the progress, you will notice the results, and more you see results of what you're doing, more you will start trusting into your own power of creation. That's why I'm sharing today with you Painting Trust, which is all about that, right? Trusting your power of creation, trusting that you have that capacity to create and design the life you want to live. So you will make much more money if you have a clear financial vision for the returns of your efforts. So many times people focus on the sales, how much they want to make, and how they see growth of their income. But what's more important is actually the quality of what you're giving to people, what you're sharing with people, the value of the value of your service, right? When you take care of the value of your service, make sure that you do your best. When you do your best, you will give all that you can give, and that's where everything will start growing for you. So, my friends, this is it for today. Have a beautiful day, my friends. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you found something valuable today. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. And I'm wishing you all the best for this year ahead of us. I think that this is the year of manifestation. We've been through many interesting years, and this one is about using what we've learned and making the best out of it. So one more time, have a beautiful creative day, and thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. Till next time, one love.